About 3 weeks ago, Max Biederman, Greg Sharp, and I were at the Frankfurt airport waiting to get on our flight to go to London. Naturally, we found ourselves in the duty-free shop. I wandered over to a free wine tasting stand. I hear it's good for you. And started to chat with a woman at the counter. I mentioned that we were studying in Heidelberg, Max, Greg, and I. And she said that she was from Scotland and told us about the upcoming whiskey festival in Frankfurt, November 20th to the 22nd. I also mentioned that I was going to Italy in a couple weekends, and I was asking her if she knew of any good, cheap, authentic Italian wine. And she showed us a bottle of distinguished yet reasonably priced Italian wine. And then she proceeded to demonstrate the differences between other alcoholic beverages, such as gin, vodka, and rum. She showed us even a particular vodka made from grapes. Well, one whiskey festival invitation, 2 sample cups of wine, and 1 sample cup of vodka later, Max and Greg and I were on a comfortable, sleepy plane to London. Now, I'm not saying that all small talk will lead to free alcohol, because that would just be a lie. But what I am saying is that there is a role for small talk in everyday life. It is not useless, it is not empty, and it is not a waste of time. Today, I do not wish to give you a tutorial on how to conduct small talk, nor do I wish for every one of you to go out and speak in meaningless, nonsensical phrases. What I do want to do today is merely help you understand that small talk is essential to good communication. The technical term for small talk is actually emphatic communication, which is defined by Merriam-Webster's dictionary as speech used for social or emotive purposes rather than for communicating information. Specifically, this type of discourse is important for the beginning, middle, and end of informal conversation. Back home in Houston, Texas, whenever confronted with a group of people, whenever you walk into a room, it could be very appropriate to walk in and say, "Hi, how y'all doing?" Now obviously you're not asking each individual person what their latest boyfriend or girlfriend problems are, nor are you asking how that chili bean burrito is feeling. And as much as a friendly introduction serves to kickstart a discussion, it also serves to signal your mood. In return, you will get a sense of the mood of the other person. In other words, once I hear, "Not doing too bad, how about yourself?" I can assume the other person has a friendly intention and they desire some sort of positive interaction. Now, in a business setting, the beginning small talk enables each party to establish his or her reputation and level of expertise without explicitly stating it. So if I ask someone if they've been following American news, and they responded, "Yeah, the government has found a giant money tree, looks like," then I would assume I'm talking to a fiscally conservative person. And I could strategically avoid this later if I knew I had conflicting views. In a sense, the beginning small talk in business is a way for me to show you that I know what I'm talking about, rather than me just coming right out and saying, "Hey everybody, I know what I'm talking about." Now this is especially important whenever you start switching to functional topics of conversation, typically in the middle. While the middle of conversation usually houses functional topics, it is not completely lacking small talk. According to the Journal of Counseling Psychology, facial expressions count for 55% of total communication. Paralanguage, which is the way in which words are said, rather than the verbal content, counts for 38%. And verbal communications, the words themselves, count for only 7% of total communication. This daunting statistic alone shows us that the topic of conversations themselves are much less important than the nonverbal communication. Tone, loudness, rate of speech, facial expressions, all these things are more meaningful to our interactions with each other than the meanings of the words themselves. Specifically, in the middle, though, of conversation, small talk alleviates those long, awkward silences until a more substantial subject arises. So in a sense, it keeps the conversation going. Some common topics are the weather, sports, movies, and recent news. These are safe, indirect topics that neither person necessarily has to commit their face to. This is good for the conversation on a long-term scale. The last part of small talk happens at the end of an informal conversation. You've ever been talking to somebody, and then right in the middle of the conversation, they just walk off. Not in a meeting. Whether intentional or not, the effect is the same. It leaves you with a feeling of rejection. Ending with a few cordial, light comments and saying goodbye drastically improves the feeling that each has as they walk away from each other. This small talk at the end affirms the relationship between the two people. It also softens the parting after a good long chat. Now, I know the weather outside is really nice today. You'll probably want to go play. So I'll let you go here. But let me finish by saying this. Small talk is not useless. It serves many social roles at the beginning, middle, and end of a conversation, and is essential to having good interactions. So thank you for your time. Goodbye. Have a nice day. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. Auf Wiedersehen.